Welcome to my channel, and I'm here to inspire you, give you crochet advice, and help you along with your next project. If you enjoyed this pattern, please give me a thumbs up or even comment so I can gauge your interest. It helps me to know what to film next. I'm not very formal. Here's today's zinger. The only answer I can think of is crochet. I don't even care what the question is. It's always crochet. So without further ado, let's get on with today's tutorial. And welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So it's my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today is the Bernat Easy Blocks Crochet Blanket. This is using Bernat Velvet Twist. This is a generous size throw. It is 48 inches by 58 inches using a 6.5mm size K crochet hook today. Today for demonstration reasons I am using a 6mm size J, and I'll be using Caron 1 pound so you can exactly see where the stitches are going to go. It's a nice easy repeating pattern, and once you get going it's gonna be awesome. Page number 2 of course is my favorite, and it has the crochet diagram because we can change the size of this in no time at all. Let's show you how. On page number 2 is the crochet diagram, and we have the stitch key just in case you don't know what those stitches mean when it comes to the symbols. Once you start understanding this, it becomes a really quite an easy process to follow, and I love crochet diagrams because you don't need to know a word of English. All you just need to know is what the symbol means. So it makes it very global, especially for us in a global platform. So what we have here is if you like to change the size of this, maybe to a baby blanket, maybe even bigger to a king size, the multiples are 7 plus 6. So you chain in 7, 7, 7, 7. Once you're happy with the width, just add 6 more, and then you'll have the balance so that you'll be able to do this. So the multiples are 7 plus 6. Without further ado, let's begin to do our beginning instructions. So let's begin with the slip knot. You can either chain 125 with your size K 6.5mm hook with your Bernat Velvet Twist, or you can change the size that you wish by using the multiples of 7 plus 6. So make a decision, chain 125 or do the customization. For myself I'll customize. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it big enough? Yes or no? If not, continue again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Big enough? Yes or no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So make sure you don't email me or message me to ask me how many chains it's going to take for a blanket. All you just need to do is chain it and just put it next to something that you want to match to, like a blanket or a bedspread or anything that you would like to do, and then once you're happy with it, then you continue. Once you have your 7s in, then to have the balance, just chain 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so now this chain will be ready for exactly this pattern. Let's begin the setup row, which is not included in the instructions for the repeat. Let's begin the setup row. You got to watch and pay attention to your stitch counts. So second chain from the hook, you're going to single crochet. So please do that. And if you get the back hump of the stitch, it looks better. So watch the counts now. Everything is always going to be a chain of 3, but how many stitches you skip are not always the same. So here's what it's going to be. You're going to chain 3. So the first time you'll skip 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and single crochet into the 4th one away. And then you'll chain 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, and this time I only want you to skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, go to the 3rd. That's what you're going to do all the way across. Okay, so chain 3. So chain 3 is always consistent. So if you just skipped over 2 last time, you're skipping over 3 this time. So 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th, chain 3. So if you skipped over 3 last time, you're only skipping over 2 this time. Hopefully that's making sense for you. So then chain 3, and so you're gonna skip 3, single crochet the next, then chain 3, skip 2, and you're going to do that all the way across your chain. At the very end of your chain, 1, 2, 3, you should end up that you're going to skip the final 3 that you see, and you're gonna go into the 4th, which is the very last one. And that's where you should end up with. And this is the setup row, and this will get you started to be able to do the rest of the project. And now let's begin row number 1. So rows number 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the repeat for the entire duration of this blanket. So let's begin row number 1. Right where you're sitting you need to chain 3, which will count as a double crochet, and in the chain 3 space right here you're going to put in 4 double crochet. So let's count those in together. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the next one that you see here is going to be something new. So after you get your 4 in, chain 1 and you're going to double crochet right into the space, and that's just gonna sit by itself in that lonely space, and that's it. Chain 1 after it. So make sure you chain 1 before the double crochet, you slam in your double crochet, and then you chain 1 after. The next one is going to be 4 double crochets into the same space. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you're going to chain 1 and you're gonna come into the next space, double crochet by itself, chain 1, and then jump to the next space. And the next space you'll have 4 double crochet again. And you're gonna repeat that all the way across for your row number 1. And I'll be at the end of this row in just a moment if you just want to stay tuned and watch. So we have chain 1, 1 double crochet by itself. So this will be the space, the second last space. Chain 1, and in the last space here what you have to watch for is that you're going to put in 4 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, but you're not done. You want to put in a double crochet into this last single crochet, and that'll stabilize your edge. And so when you pull it apart like this, this is what it looks like. And now you're ready for row number 2. In row number 2 you're going to chain up 1 and you'll single crochet right in the top of this first double crochet, and then everything is chain 3s like I told you before. So it's always gonna be a chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. You're gonna come into the space before the single crochet, or before the double crochet is by itself, and you'll single crochet there, and then you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and you're going to single crochet on the other side of that lonely double crochet. This is very much like the modern granny. So chain 3 and then come into the next space after this right there, single crochet, chain 3, and come into the space after it. So you're just looking really for spaces and just fill it in. So 1, 2, 3, come into there, 1, 2, 3, space. And so what you have to watch for is the very last one that you have. So you're gonna chain 3 and you're going to skip all the way to the last turning chain, and you're going to put it in the top of the turning chain, the last single crochet in like that, and that will complete row number 2. Let's start row number 3. In row number 3 we're going to chain a total of 4, which will count as a double crochet and a chain 1 space. So what I like to say to myself is that I go 1, 2, 3, there's my double crochet, and 4th is a chain 1 space, and helps me to remember. In the same space that you have right here you're going to place in a double crochet and then a chain 1 after it, and what you're doing is these little lonely double crochets here, you're just shifting the location for them for next time, right? So now this space here right above, just follow it up, is now gonna have your 4 double crochets. So it's almost like a brick wall if you want to visualize it like that, where the bricks are just changing their location, so they're not straight on top of each other, but they're kind of just intermixed. Now you're gonna chain 1, come to this space here, see that it's above this 4, and that's gonna be a double crochet, chain 1, and then come here and you'll put in 4 double crochet there. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 1, come to the next space, chain 1, come to the next space, and do you see how the stitches are moving from each other? They're opposite to what you had done before. Chain one, come to the very last space that's available in the chain. Once you're at the end of the chain, you're going to double crochet, chain one, and in the last single crochet I need you to double crochet. And let's turn this and take a look. So do you see how everything shifted? And that was row number 3. So you have row number 4, which will be the end of the repeat. Let's begin number 4. Chain up 1, and then you're going to single crochet into the top of the double crochet that you have, and everything is in sets of 3 if you recall. So just watch this first edge. This is the only part that it's gonna be slightly different. So chain 3, and you're gonna come into the space after the first double crochet. If you don't do this right here, what happens is that you lose your edge, and the edge will then be sliding off like out of alignment. So just watch that. Chain 3, and you're just gonna play within the spaces that you can find. So here's a space right here, chain 3, and then going into the next space that you find, chain 3, and you're gonna do that all the way. So really these chain 3 lines, which is row number 2 and 4, they're really quite easy to do. So watch the very end of number 4 here. So you're just gonna chain 3, and you are going to just go into the third stitch, the third chain here, and you're gonna go right into the chain work itself. Don't go into a space, and that will hold that edge from collapsing, and then that's it. So this here is rows number 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the repeat. So if you need to do it over again, you can just reverse the video back. We have video chapters that you can click, and that will take you right back to rows number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and let's talk about the repeat on how many times that we need to do it. So you're going to repeat this now, rows 1 through 4, until you get approximately 58 inches. You need to end on the 4th row in order to have the balance, because we do have 2 rounds of the border to complete to bring this to a conclusion. So continue just to go 1, 2, 3, and 4 over and over and over, and you can put this away once, like the pattern away, once you understand it. Just enjoy the stitching journey, and then join me back here when you're ready to do the border, and I'll show you how in a few moments from now, and let's do that next. Once you're ready for the border, you're going to start and make sure that after you've done number 4 that you're going to turn and get ready. So after the whole blanket's done, this is number 4, and you're gonna start with your edging. The edging is really quite simple. You're just gonna chain 1 to start. This is considered a corner, so I would slam in 3 single crochets right into the corner, so that will give it the 90-degree turn that you need. And then you have to equally space the single crochets along the top and side edging. So you can kind of look at what is going on with the pattern below it and just kind of fill it in. So there's no right or wrong answers. You can determine what you need to do in order to have that happen. So you're just gonna equally space out your single crochets, and if you see it starting to ruffle out, meaning that it's all like feathery looking, that means that you're going too slow and you're putting in way too many stitches. If you see it starting to collapse in on itself, it means that you're moving too quickly, and it means that you're rushing too far ahead. So you gotta just take your time and put in a few extra stitches in order to keep the balance. As an experienced crocheter, I can actually do it pretty easily because I have that experience, but it may take you a few tries in order to get it done, but don't give up on yourself for sure. And you're gonna do that. When you get to another corner, you're just gonna turn your work. And how do you turn? You're going to place in 3 single crochets right into a corner. So right in the corner, 3 single crochets, that will give it the 90-degree turn. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and just naturally turn the project and then work down the side edge. When you go into a side edge, just make sure that you try to stay within chain work. If you grab around a whole post, it opens that up and it creates a really large gap on the edges. So you're gonna want to try to avoid that, and you're just gonna equally space out your stitches on the sides. Again, the same rule. If it's buckling, then it means that you're moving too fast or too slow. So then eventually you're just gonna come into the bottom edge and then you're working your way across. So please just finish this all the way around and I'll be back in just a few moments and I'll show you the last border round next. So once you come all the way back around, you're just going to attach it to the first single crochet and it should be laying flat for you. Okay, so make sure that I would check each side before you get this far, but as an experienced crocheter I can see that this is flat. So what you want to pay attention to on the second round of the border is that the middle single crochet at the corners will have 3 single crochets to allow it to still continue to turn. So right where I'm sitting, I attached it to the first one, the first single crochet, so I'm gonna just chain up 1 and put 1 single crochet in. The next one is the middle one of the grouping of 3, so you put 3 single crochets there. And now because you've already done the leg work on doing the first round, all you just need to do now is just put 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around and just watch out for those middle ones of the corners and make sure 3 get placed in the middles to keep that corner turning at a really nice angle. Okay, so please do this all the way around and I'll see you at the end of the border round, second round, which is the last round of this blanket. So I'm coming all the way back around and I'm just going to join it to the first and then that's it. So your blanket should be nice and flat just like you see it here on camera. So we're going to just trim this yarn when you're ready. Any loose ends that you will have, you're going to want to use the same principle and you want to favor the back side of the project. You'll be able to tell what that is by looking at the stitch work. And so all you're just going to do is put it through a tapestry needle and staying on the back side and glide the leftover yarns through the stitch work, but do not allow the needle to be showing on the good side of the work. Okay, that means that you're too deep. Just stay within the fibers, and if you can get your needle to actually break apart fibers on the other side in the back, then what happens is that it becomes almost impossible to take out. So make sure before you do that though, you're confident with your stitches for sure. So you're gonna go back and forth a total of 3 times and then that will conclude how to do this particular project. It's a nice easy repeating and it's really neat and it's like a modern granny but with a little bit of a difference, and that's what we have for you today. So on behalf of my friends at yarnspirations.com, we hope that you have a good one and we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.